Mm-hmm.
All right, welcome back. Oh, oh, okay. I'm at the edge of the thing. Onward. All right, let's see.
This does look like Theos' kind of place.
There. All right. Well, let's see where we go.
I remember when I was a girl, and the missionaries came and told us about the gods. They said we could see them in the stars. I
Okay.
remember when I heard that, I snuck out at night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because I wanted to see them better. That fort burned down a few years ago when we cast the missionaries out.
All right.
It was the missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it. Shame.
This is your home as much as mine. Do you worry about it? I wish I could say I thought otherwise, but hearing someone else say it helps settle some things in my mind. I miscalculated
many things since this began. I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you.
You'll debate that later.
I always knew this path would have consequences, but I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf. I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming, I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies on a stronghold that can resist an invading army. Osionis. They have held off many would-be invaders, and their king has no love of the Inquisition's faith. I wonder, would he listen?
All right. Good night. What is... combat? He is always getting his shit kicked in. Feral Druid. Phantom.
Yes?
Eason's let's have it out! Let's go!
Alright.
Let's go!
There we go.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea.
That's right.
Which is not very quiet.
Oh, what? Alright. What's all this? Oh. Okay. More shades. Definitely, okay. Definitely a lot of people that were killed here.
I'm here.
You go up here and...
Let's go!
Alright.
Curses! Right.
Ready, Watcher.
Following your lead.
Aye?
Alright.
Let's go. This isn't working.
That takes care of that.
Right.
Brave thou not believe.
How may I help?
Yes?
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's Perez.
Ready, Watcher.
Following your lead.
Good shot with this.
Brave thou not.
Let's go. Let's go.
There we go.
Sure.
Let me. Exceptional. Oh. Oh. All right, just gotta keep going.
Brave
More,
thou
I mean, I'm not too
How
surprised
may I
for a haunted island. All right. What is it? Oh, just more little collectible soul, I guess. All those soul collectible sprites. Oh. Okay, what's going on here? Another memory echo.
Another turn, Inquisitor.
Theo signals something unseen, some unseen attendant standing beside a large crank.
I ask again, Jovara Ixensios, do you confess to these heresies of which you stand accused? Do you confess to apostasy?
Huh?
I confess to renouncing a mistake.
Do you confess to conspiracy against the one true faith?
I confess to opening minds.
Do you confess to false prophecy?
I confess to following a false prophet.
Indeed. And where might we find this heretic?
He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor.
Huh?
You have no followers here, heretic. Your lies hold no sway in the court of the penitents.
Only my truth, then.
Another turn. You are ready to give a confession?
I am ready to hear one from you.
Huh? Defiant to the last. Theo shakes his head and points to at the Inquisitor, and the scraping grind of rusted gears echoes in your mind as the apparition fades away.
If this doesn't inspire faith in the gods, I don't know what will.
A great pit lies in shadow of the statue of Wodaka. No light from the surface reaches the bottom, but even so, you catch flickers of a ghostly glow in the depths. A wind from the pit buffets you. It isn't cold, but it raises a goose flesh. Goose flesh along your arms? The wind carries a whisper low and symbiont. As you look in the pit, souls gather around you. They encase you in a cloud of essence that swirls around your body while you consider your next move. Fear not the dark, and let the feast begin. You jump, trusting in your promise of the gods, trusting in the promises of the gods, and the power of the souls to bear you safely down. The sudden drop takes your breath away, but the souls catch you, encasing you in a shining, thrumming aura. But while they slow your descent, you can feel that you are falling faster than you should.
After what seems like an eternity, Your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. Their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach. Your only way lies ahead.
Very well.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Think I dislocated my... That's better.
That was bracing.
Just. Alright.
There's something you don't see every day.
Of course. It wouldn't be a playthrough of this unless I'm just finding every trap and no.
Brave.
I'm just gonna assume there's no more traps and not worry about it. Especially with all the specters around here. Pop that.
Following your lead.
Have you through that.
I'm here.
Answer.
Just have to try something else.
Let's go.
Come on, everyone. There we go. Come on. Let me. What was I even used to make?
Brave Dalfila.
Oh.
Yes?
I'm here.
Da, da, da.
Hey there.
Yeah. Following your lead. Let's go.
Can't get a grip.
Brave Dalfila. Let's go.
Except have you
Following your
his
lead.
aggro.
Bullseye.
Alright.
I'm here.
Following your lead. Let's go.
And that's that. Come on, let me loot it. Not really much to loot, but still something that... Oh, chest.
Let's cut out for a start.
Ow! Morning Star, Might and Resolve. What's this? Okay, come on everyone. This is definitely much more than a pit for death. Executions. Pop that. Do what you can,
Ready, Watcher.
I guess. Why are you always getting why are you always getting stunned?
Aye?
working.
Don't know if I can do anything.
I'm here.
Following your lead.
Have him just... Why are you always...
Let's go.
Just get that Spectre off of him, please.
Let's go.
Alright.
I'll get the next one.
Let's go. Let's go.
Alright, there's that. And wait for everyone to recover after that. Kinda like just randomly exploring aimlessly. More specters. And shades. Just what the doctor ordered. Not.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Following your lead.
Ready, Watcher.
How may I help?
You can help by killing things.
Mm-hmm.
Following your lead.
I'm here. Hey there. I'll teach you a lesson. Can't get a shot at this.
Yeah.
Alright.
Sure.
Crossbow. Lots of things. Oh my. Oh me, oh my, oh my, oh me. Where are you going?
Yes? Roll attack!
Ready, Watcher.
Good.
Roll attack!
Let's go.
I'm down with the gold.
Let's go. This isn't working.
You don't say.
Roll attack!
Let's go.
Down with the other golem.
Come on, not like that. It's not working.
Let's go. Almost.
Roll attack!
Let's
Come on, down with it. Finally.
Consider it done. Give me a real challenge.
Not really much in there. Oh, okay. Huh? What is this? A column of alder rises above you, stoic and silent, its rigid layers measuring stick for the passing of ages. Its rigid layer is a measuring stick for the passing of ages. It feels to you as a thick block of ice, and you perceive buried deep in its core a dim, flickering flame, but all but extinguished, yet preserved against the ravages of the elements. As you approach, the flame seems to steady and draw strength, and the layers separating it from you melt away, and you are bathed in its glow, a bright beacon in the gloom. The glow seems to fade, as though you had adjusted to its intensity, and where it was, Ivara steps into existence, an idyllic shade hovering above the moist prison floor. Though ageless, she appears somehow different to you now. A slight stoop to her carriage, or perhaps a trace of sunkiness in her eyes. There is a broad scar across her face, fibrous and wormy where flames once lapped, unhealed even in death.
My old pupil. You are a welcome sight, but a worrying one as well. Do you still wander lost in the darkness after all these many years? You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here? I'd hoped after our last discussion you would find what you sought. Has it eluded you all this time?
So it seems.
I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice. After all this time, he would still stand against the tide. I
need
will
to know
tell
something
you
of the
what I
past.
remember. I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also.
Last time
it was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
And what was that? Ivara's mouth tightens and her brow furrows. I look at Pity. Her eyes shift back and forth between each of yours, as if looking for something that would help her decide whether to speak.
That the gods aren't real.
I'd dreaded the idea from the moment the Delimgon suggested it. And yet, it almost feels like a relief.
But that's not... Is that the truth we've come for? That even the gods are false?
That doesn't seem possible.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
How'd you
The
discover this?
Enwithen missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them, and in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Alright, that's interesting. What and where?
They were conceived by Engwyth, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Theos' people.
Interesting.
In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwythans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators.
Interesting.
Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found.
Alright then.
They were gone. It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
This is an interesting perspective, which, the first little line here, I think we can honestly look and just say, yeah, that's happening today. That is happening today, because we have people that have long since gone away from old faiths and have said, we're going to do our own thing. There is no God, and then they replace it with hedonism, sex, drugs, whatever. Society today has shifted to say whatever the greatest good that they believe it to be is their God. And we see the pursuit of that to a very reckless degree. And to a very odd degree. A lot of it is just kids today that don't know anything. Best way to describe it is a bunch of people today protesting against probably their best interest, I'd argue. Things like trying to get rid of Christianity and replace it with Islam. Perhaps that's what they want. They prefer. Perhaps they want their rights stripped from them. Perhaps they want to be stomped down on. Perhaps it's what the people that are protesting want. I don't know. I hope not, because it's insane. But perhaps that's what they're looking for, a purpose. They don't have a purpose, and they need. Humanity is a very faith-driven species or existence. We always look for something to put our focus, our faith, our just put something in. We want to have purpose. We want our lives to have meaning, and if there is no meaning, no purpose to everything, then shouldn't I act in whatever way I want? That's I like games that try to look into that, or even just stories that try to look at that and say, at a point, if there is no purpose, we need to give people a purpose so that we don't have a complete breakdown of human society and just all become hedonistic animals.
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same, and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine. You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution.
That's definitely something a lot of people crave.
If you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself, as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
Ivora scans her audience in silence, her eyes thoughtful, lingering on each member of your company in turn, finding interest in things unseen.
What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Well, as poorly as I've chosen my guides, I suppose it would be a comfort to know that I'm free of them.
The freedom has always been. It was the guidance that was the illusion. If all our common threads are spun from a lie, what's left to bind us together?
I don't know. I never found the answers I sought. But after all we have seen, I think the gods are not enough. Perhaps the threads are unraveling. The lies too old. I think maybe we are all meant to be divided. Every effort, every search for a single truth will end in failure, because there is no single truth. We seek simple answers where there are none.
Threads spun from falsehoods tend to unravel on their own, my friend. For it is in our natures to seek truth. What if our burdens come to us not because they are meant to be, but because they happen to be?
We fulfill them anyway, because they still matter to the people around us, even if we know better.
What if we can be assured of nothing?
There is bliss to be found in the things we create, but sorrow as well. Every creation bears the imperfections of its creator, and its creator's creator. Art and song are creations, but so are weapons and lies. We must be careful that our creations do not consume us. I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted.
That's
No
fair.
answer is simple. But somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
I would argue both for and against this. I'd mostly argue that people need to know things happen for a reason. Otherwise, we get people that are just stuck in a downtrodden path and don't try to better themselves. Or we get people that see a world as is and have no desire or interest to improve it. Society as it is today is is a post-Christian society built off of Christian ideas and morals. Those morals and ideas are being stripped away because we are replacing what was with what we want to be. I'm rambling. We're replacing society and its foundation with the lie, or perhaps the idea that there is no greater spiritual thing, or no greater nothing above us or greater than us. And the problem I have there is, to me, I don't like gambling, and I don't like the idea of saying, hey, everything happened by chance, and we are merely life that came from non-life by chance. That, I think, is an idiotic assumption. And if we keep going from there, you'd have to assume, alright, there has to be some great uncaused cause or unmoved mover that set everything in motion. At the same time, people today want to reject all of that and embrace the idea that everything is for naught and that we will all fade into oblivion. That is too nihilistic to me, and that is too... I guess the way I would say it just throws too many assumptions around and throws away too much of the very human experience.
That is the thinking that has shaped the world, for better or worse. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand. I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember? Woodica gifted him a great many things, but his ability to manipulate was always his own. Good. Good. The things I taught, the things I believed, I needed to hear that. I needed to know it wasn't because...
I needed to know it wasn't because after everything you'd learned, you'd still rather believe a lie. If that is the conclusion people reach once they know everything, then my purpose has been a mistake.
You were a blank slate to me once. A blank slate that I had taught the wrong things. I'd given you a false faith. I had to know I could undo what I had done. Redirect you to embrace the truth. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who? I expected dissent, but I needed to know that true faith would prevail. Perhaps I've been wrong to place so much importance on one person's actions. It was all I could do to feel like there was an answer. Even knowing what you've told me, some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know, nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do.
Very well.
And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made? There is nothing to forgive. The fault was always mine. I led you down the path that led to Theos. When I tried to steer you back, it was too late. To have taught someone wrong is far worse than to have done wrong yourself.
Yep.
Long have I wished to make amends for this, but the time has long since passed. At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish, but now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Theos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Theos himself will satisfy your needs. Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know. In a matter of speaking, this is Braeth Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Woodica is eternal. They linger above, at the site of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle. This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition, but time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Theos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then. They aid you because they would bend you to their own purposes. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing.
Yes. An ideal is more or less a weapon. Unguided, undirected, unfocused, it can do many things that are wrong.
But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end. You will not find a more resolute being on all of Eora. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him. He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might That's why he's always favored Woedica. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules. Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Theos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers.
Yep.
She wants that secret guarded as much as... If Theos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woedica was vanquished once, when the other gods decided she had gone too far, and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. Theos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again. If I repent, all I have done has meant nothing. For my part in leading you to Theos in the very beginning, if ever we should meet again, in this life or any other.
Alright then. I guess I need to follow the staircase.
It's true. The gods are a sham that people have followed for thousands of years.
Oh.
We've been lied to. Our whole lives, and many lives before that. And it's led us to put our faith in a pantheon
That's a
of gods
naive
that never
belief.
deserved it in the first place. I'm surprised to hear you say this. It seems that much harm comes from imposing authority where perhaps none is needed. We've seen the atrocities that members of the Leaden Key have committed without even understanding why or for whom they act. I've also been thinking, there won't be much left of Theos by the time you're done with him, if I know how you operate. That will leave the Leaden Key headless. Perhaps it's best then let's face Theos.
Onward to the finale. Wow, it's dark in here. Why is there no light?
Hello? Is everyone still there?
I guess? I can't see a dang thing. I can't see anything. Oh. What's going on now? The souls light the way. Well, I guess I'm grateful for this now.
Oh, full of surprises, aren't you?
Look at the size of this place.
Look at that. A city to put all others to shame. And long lost.
Oh.
Brave thou Philos believe.
Aye?
I think after this one, we're going to hear.
Ah, thank you.
I can't get a good shot with this.
Following your lead. Good, brave, Ansar.
Show him how it's done!
Why aren't any other?
Let's go.
That's not very helpful.
Sure.
Alright. I'm gonna head off here. Until next we meet, have a blessed day.